The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams and to those who wake up to make it a reality. Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Avenir 2020, an innovative initiative of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman to empower students to confidently navigate their future. An Indian school Muscat is proud to be the torchbearer this year. I, Joshua Armstrong of 11E Indian School Muscat, am here to be your host this evening. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this enriching session. Dear participants, kindly note, you are requested to fill the feedback form that will appear in the chat box towards the end of the session, which is a necessary requirement for the participation certificate. We are extremely honored to have the presence of our esteemed guest, Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi, ETIMAD Oman Project Manager, Ministry of Labour Oman. Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi is the first female dean in the private higher education in the Sultanate. She secured her doctorate in education with the University of Leeds, UK, and previously attained undergraduate as well as master's degree from Sultan Qaboos University. Dr. Yasmin followed her passion for education by beginning as a language teacher in the Ministry of Education in 1997. With over 20 years of experience, she is an educationalist who is passionate about making changes in people's lives through education. Dr. Yasmin is a well-respected figure in Oman and holds a senior position at the Oman Academic Accreditation Authority for Higher Education Institutes. She is also a member of the Executive Committee of the Oman Quality Network for Higher Education and holds many other senior positions in education and training, including member of the Board of Trustee, Muscat University, and external reviewer for the Ministry of Higher Education. Dr. Yasmin now spends most of her time inspiring the next generation of leaders to achieve success. On behalf of the fraternity of Indian School Muscat, I warmly welcome our distinguished speaker. A warm welcome, ma'am. Let us now sail through a beautiful video presentation highlighting our esteemed speaker.
Thank you, Joshua, for the introduction. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the Indian School.
On this beautiful day, we feel proud to welcome to Avenir 2020 Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi, who has committed herself to excellence in education. As the Dean of Muscat College, Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi is the first female dean in the private higher education sector in the Sultanate. Dr. Yasmin secured her doctorate in education with the University of Leeds, UK. She is also actively engaged in various aspects of teaching and research. With over 20 years of experience, she is an educationalist who is passionate about making changes in people's life through education. She is a well-respected figure in Oman and holds a senior position at the Oman Academic Accreditation Authority for Higher Education Institutes. She has also held many other senior positions in education and training, such as the External Reviewer for the Ministry of Higher Education. She was a speaker at Avenir Indian School's Career Talk Show held in 2018. Indian School Muscat is extremely proud to welcome you to Avenir 2020, ma'am.
That was a beautiful video prepared by Kevin Jose of 11A and the voiceover by Caleb Biju Matthew of 11B. May I now take the honor to hand over the stage to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful video. I really enjoyed it. You took me back the lane of the memory. And thank you, Indian School, for the kind invitation to be part of your Avenir 2020 event. And we are always proud of the events that is being held to serve the community and the students the same. And light them with different topics that deals with their future and their education and their whole well-being altogether. Well, I thought for the hour that I have with all the participant here, I wanted to shed from scientific topic, and I wanted to share something which is simple and which touch all of us as a human being, but it is in the heart of all the acts that we do as people here. So I will start sharing actually my screen, and I would like to encourage all of you who are participating in this session, please, and who to make it a little bit more interactive. So I will appreciate using the chat box, please, and I will be reading some of the responses. And I will start actually my session with a question. So let's imagine that we found the magical lamp where we are going to rub it, and the genie comes out and asks us, so wish that you have something that you don't have it at the moment. What will be the one thing that you will put it in that wish list? Because that is the only chance, or that is the only wish that is granted to you. So I would like to see some of your options, some of your responses. What will be the wish option for you? Something that you wish you have that you don't have. Can I see the chat box? I will go to the chat box and see whether we have a good career. Yes. So privately, I have a message, a good career, to travel around the world. Yeah. To avoid most of my life problems, to make wishes of car enthusiastic for the future and come true. Okay. So your wish to become in this career, peace, to be happy always, to travel around the world. I would like more thoughts to come, because that will gauge all our discussion to where we want to hint today. Get the COVID situation end. Yes, Sridevi, I totally agree with you. More options? A wish list given to you. Okay, and a genie is there to make your wish come true. So we have so many wishes coming around in the chat box. Well, I will move to another, okay, more two responses or three here. I'll read them very quickly. To meet famous historian of the past, good health, always be healthy, be successful. Well, the wish list will go on, but we'll stop here and let me take you to the second question. I will start with a few questions, but you will see that how it will help us to gauge us to our topic today. So if I ask you here, this is a slide, and if I ask you, what do you see on this page or on this slide? And I would like to read again your answers. Black dot, yes. A dot, loss of white space, a dot, yes. Black dot in the center, a black dot on a white background, very good. A white background with a black dot in another way, yes. A black central dot, loss of white space, a small black dot in a white page. So can you see how the different questions, the answers are popping up in the box? That's very interesting to read. Very different perspective. It's just a dot there, but we have different perspective. It's in the center, it's a black dot, it's a white space with the black dot, or a dot on a white space. Black dot, okay. Thank you very much. Now, I will take you from this video, through this video to another thoughts. And let's watch this video together. And after that, we'll start the whole talk. Well, so I think you can guess what we are going to talk about. Today, our topic will be the attitude of gratitude. A very simple act, but it's a very deep, meaningful act that sometimes we oversee it and sometimes we neglect it in our life. We as human, we have tendency always to have the wish lists, the focus on what we don't have. So when I ask you about the magical lamp and I ask you what you don't have, your mind jumped to the area where what do I don't have? Immediately it goes to the part where is that missing part that I want to fill it. There is another tendency in the human brain that we tend to see the negative rather than the positive. So when I ask you about the dot in the middle of that space, a lot of you could see the black dot. I appreciate the thought that some of you said there is a white space around a dot. So some people could see the white space, but majority, many of us, I myself, when I saw that exercise, first thing my eyes went to the black dot and I concentrated on the black dot. That is a human tendency. Our brain shift to the negative part, that black dot that is in the middle of the white space. Very few people will be looking at the white space around them, not the black dot. So not what we don't have, what we have around us. And that is what gratitude is about. Also, we could see from the video that people see the things or they tend to see the people who are above them rather than the people who are less privileged than them. And that is very normal, right? A lot of things around us shape that tendency actually. And we shouldn't be blaming social media a lot on this, but a lot of young people and also adults, I wouldn't say only young people, but also adults, they follow a lot of people who are icons on social media. And for some reason, these icons are giving us the perfect world scenarios, the perfect beach they are on, the perfect relationship that is shown in the video, the perfect house they are living in, the best restaurant they went to, the clothing, the makeup, the money, the fame, what they are driving, what they are using, which brand they are using. So in a way, they are picturizing the perfect world that always become our wish lists. It is not what we want, but because we see it around us, somehow it becomes one of the things that is on our wish list. And that is a human tendency. So always we as human beings, we tend to see that black dot. Yeah, okay, I have everything, but I don't have this. And still that black dot will try to attract our attention to only that black dot, but we forget the things which are around us. And today we want to talk a little bit about that area, the attitude of gratitude. And I will ask another question to you, my audience. How do you show gratitude? We have different ways that we show gratitude. How do you show your gratitude? And I would love to see some of the responses on this question. Let us see. By doing good things, yes, by doing good things. Can you give me some examples? I'm very much interested to see some examples. How do you show to a person or that you are or a whole that you have the gratitude? By helping someone emotionally, helping the poor, yes. A smile, as simple as a smile, yes. By owing them in some way, showing respect, saying thank you. Very small act, very powerful impact. Appreciating others, helping others, thinking good deeds. I love that answer. Being thankful. These are so many good thoughts happening there, how we cultivate the attitude of gratitude. It can be very simple act, and a lot of people do not think about it. They don't think that this simple act that they are doing are creating the attitude of gratitude. Simply telling my students with good words, excellent work, well done, very good. So I will come back to that where we talk about the 4 A's. I'll come back and talk about it, but she nailed it there, saying simply by saying some appreciation words, spreading love, treating everyone as equal. Very good. Simple acts, but very positive thoughts, appreciating of little thing. Okay, we'll stop there. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Very powerful, small acts, and you nailed it there. There are so many ways that we show gratitude to people around us. And if we come to the word gratitude, gratitude itself is an emotion. And as Joshua was introducing me, he said that I also work with the science of emotional intelligence. And I thought that let me also capture that scientific part of gratitude in my presentation. They always say that gratitude is a moral emotion. And why they say it's a moral emotion? Because actually there is no universal facial expression for it. So you have the happiness, excitement, sadness, being worried. So you have a lot of expression for other emotions. When it comes to gratitude, it doesn't have a universal emotions that say this is gratitude, but it shows in other form of emotions, especially the ones which are connected to kindness and giving and empathy. So since we are talking about emotion, it is very interesting for you to know that we have certain emotion in our brain. And to start with emotions, what are emotion? I would like to pose these questions. What are emotions? So if you say that I feel this, so this is an emotion, right? What is that emotion? Any answer? Any guesses? You have a hint on my slide? Okay. Our feelings, the way we feel, expressing ourselves, state of mind, yes. But what are emotions? If I say emotion, what are they scientifically? Any idea? State of acts, yes, they're very much connected to the way you act. Happiness, yes. Emotion, sadness, they are kind of emotions. Chemical reaction, thank you very much. I got my word, chemical reactions. So actually emotions are chemical reaction produced by our friend, the brain. And usually when we talk about emotion, the word heart pumps into our in front of us, but actually emotions come from the brain. And our brain produce a lot of chemicals on daily basis, depending on what emotion we are feeling. And some of these emotions, they take the front stage, and other emotion takes the back stage. So the more the emotion that you more practice, they take the front stage in your brain. So they are more or less like the apps. If you are using the app on your phone, so if you are using the WhatsApp more often than other apps, WhatsApp will come on your first page. And if you are using Facebook or Instagram and Snapchat, those comes on the first page. Maybe you are not using Google Map as such, so slowly that app goes to the other pages. So the more we practice certain emotion, the more they take the lead. So we are able to rewire our brain to kick the production of certain chemicals. Okay, I will say that again. We are able, gratitude gets our brain rewired in a way that we kick the positive chemicals in our brain, especially those two chemicals in front of you, dopamine and serotonin. Those two ones are very much connected with the emotion of gratitude, and they make you feel more content of what you have. And it's very powerful. Very small thing. Sometimes we don't think about it, but the more you practice gratitude, the more you start getting those chemicals kicking off and taking hijacking your brain in a positive way. And when I use the word hijacking here, I'm using it in a very positive connotation, not a negative connotation. And that becomes the dominant emotion that is translated to your acts later on. So the way we think translated the way we feel, and then those become again the action that we'll be showing ourselves and others. So it's very, very important that you understand how important and how powerful are chemicals related to our brain. Well, let me go back to the 4 A's, and we were talking about how you show gratitude. A lot of you, when I asked you the question, how you show gratitude, some of you said, thank you. And we always say that you cultivate the attitude of gratitude by very small, minor acts. Sometimes we just need to celebrate very minor accomplishments, something that you have done and you accomplish it, but you don't think it's a very big deal. No, those are the moments you should say, well done. I have achieved something that other people did not achieve it. I came to this accomplishment that other people did not do it. So just celebrating those minor accomplishments is one of the acts that you can practice more and more. A lot of people put in the chat box the word thank you, just telling them thank you. Sometimes when you just do a very small act of saying or showing appreciation, even by simplest way, by saying thank you, by extending the hand to help, telling not only others, but sometimes also telling yourself thank you. So it is not appreciating only others, but also appreciating yourself at certain times where you tell yourself, I'm awesome. I have done an amazing thing. Thank you to me and myself that I was capable of doing this. How you volunteer to be kind with the small acts. Some of you wrote there, being kind, showing empathy, showing how you care about others. The act of kindness and the acts of giving are very much related to gratitude. The more you are feeling or you are empathetic to others, that care comes in a form of showing the kindness through care and the kindness through giving. And this is why one of you wrote helping others, helping poor people. Well, I spoke about the 4 A's, and sometimes to be grateful, you have to do certain practices, and I categorize them under the 4 A's. It starts with appreciation. So the first A is for appreciation, and I think we spoke about it, how you make the people around you feel more valuable with very small acts, saying thank you, more motivated, because when you say thank you, you show them and you motivate them to do whatever they are doing again and again and again. So it's a small act, but it has a consequences. It has a ripple effects around it. The second A is the approval. Give praise. Give approval to people that they have done something that is worth giving the praise. Saying things like awesome, good, brilliant. It might be idea, it might be suggestion, it might be an act, but when you are praising people, you are giving the second A, which is the approval. People will go extra mile to do things beyond their normal duty sometimes. whether that person is a parent, whether that person is a teacher, whether that person is a friend, whether that person is anybody in your community. The third A is the admiration. Admiration, compliment, give the positive behavior, even small behavior, give compliment on them. I appreciate your punctuality. It's something normal. We expect everyone to be punctual, but when you emphasize an act that we take it for granted and you give that person a credit or a group of people the credit, they become more motivated to do that act again and again. And it raises their self-esteem, by the way, because nobody noticed that they are doing one act which is good. Always people, especially we in the educational scenario, always tell people why you are late. But we never tell them, oh, you are always on time. Thank you very much. You are always punctual. So the admiration is one of the third A that always help you to practice your gratitude. And the fourth one, and it's very important one, the attention. Listening to people, being quiet when they're talking, giving them the full attention as if you are giving them the message, I am all concentrated on you and what you want to say, and I am thinking with you and feeling with you at the same time, just through listening. And that is my fourth A. Now, why gratitude? Is it very important? In the last 30 years, there has been a huge scientific research in the area of gratitude. And there were so many studies where they have done a scientific study where they have put people under certain conditions, where they gave them some cues like getting some other strangers, giving them food, money, and then they put them through the fMRI, and they have seen the connection, the correlated part of their brain when they are doing any act of the kindness or fairness or something to do with the judgment, which are very much relevant to the gratitude. And they found that actually gratitude is very much connected to our well-being. Interesting, right? A small emotion, maybe some people neglect it totally, but we never thought that gratitude is very much connected to our well-being. And actually, when I say well-being, it is very much connected to our physical, social, and emotional states. So for example, they found that, and what I'm going to give you as facts, these are scientific facts. They found that people who really practice gratitude all the time, counting the blessing, counting what they have and others don't have, they have less stress level and they have less blood pressure. The blood pressure level is not very high. And they found that they sleep better than those people who do not practice gratitude. Interesting, but facts. Now, emotionally, they found that those people who practice gratitude are much more happier. In fact, there was a study where in this study, they asked people to keep journals and they write about the things they are grateful for. And it was very interesting that they found that keeping the journal over the days, every day they were asked to write 3 things they are grateful for. And over the period of time, they found that actually, after 1 week, they found that these people are happier. Of course, all these are through the scientific measures. After 1 week, after 1 month, they found that they are 5% happier than before. And after 6 months, they found them 9% happier. So actually, the act of gratitude affects your well-being, even your state, your mind, and the way you are feeling, especially with feeling happier and more content with life. because you will not be looking at the black dot, you will be looking at the white space around you. And they found that those people who are practicing keeping those journals become healthier, happier, and they sleep even better at night. Imagine things, small things, but we don't think about it. Now, I think how much time I have, okay? So I'm a bit cautious about the time. I will move to the second slide and the second thought I wanted to share with you. How many of you agree with me? And this is, of course, our coronavirus. Let me read some of the responses you wrote. Uh, 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 what are the 4 A's? I think I talk about the 4 A's. So let us talk about the scenario we are in. How many of you agree with me that we are practicing the act of gratitude more and more nowadays thanks to coronavirus? And my question is, what are you grateful for during coronavirus? It is a state which changed the whole world. It changed our relationship, it changed our normal life, it changed so many things. But we started becoming more grateful to things which we took them for granted, isn't it? Now, let me read some of your input about lessons for coronavirus where you felt I'm grateful. A roof on my head, yes. Not going out. You started appreciating not going out. My family and friends, yes, because those are the people you they were around you. It helped me nature. It was very thankful for COVID, for giving me time to find myself, to love myself, spending time with family. I'm grateful to still being in Oman. I am alive. I love that one. The fact that we are still alive. We are so grateful because when you read all those statistics every day, there is a time when you say, thank God, me and my family, we are still alive, we are still helpful. Respect life and don't think anything small. Yes, it was a small thing that invaded and changed and put our life upside down. Thankful for being alive, safe with my family. Yes, I am safe, I am alive and healthy. Those are the things we took it for granted. It's like when we are in a room, we all breathe, right? We breathe the air. But if they put us in a room where they are going to diffuse the room out of the oxygen, what will happen to us? Suddenly, we start noticing that, oh, no oxygen. Oh, I'm getting suffocated. Oh, what's happening? The oxygen level is going down. Oh, it's reducing, it's vanishing. I'm going to die. And we start noticing the air that we have around us to breathe. Otherwise, on daily basis, we breathe the air 24/7 and nobody noticed the air, right? Now, coronavirus become as it is one of the challenges that we are facing, medical challenge, and we hope and we wish that it gets solved very soon. But there are a lot of learnings that we have learned from coronavirus. And this COVID came with so many lessons and appreciation. And there was, naturally, we started appreciating. There was a gratitude, remembering Almighty that anything can happen. I started to notice small things in life, which we took it for granted. The other day, I was just telling my kids how much I miss the fact of taking the popcorn and going and sitting in the movie just for a change, which was, we took it for granted earlier. Traveling, meeting the friends, the family, the gathering. How much I miss the family gathering. All those are facts. We took them for granted in our life because we didn't stop for a minute and we said, I'm grateful for this. We were not noticing the white paper around the black dots. We are always, and that is a human tendency. In normal life, if coronavirus is not there, you watch your behavior. It is very normal. People switch to complain mode. I don't have this. I don't have money. I have so many problems. I don't have the best career I want. I don't have the best grades in the school. I don't have the best family around. For some teenagers, they always complain, why my family cannot understand me, and they feel like they're complaining about them. It's always about the negativity or the complaint area that we are focused. But now we started appreciating the slight facts which are around us. We started appreciating people around us. And I think this is the time also which is consistent, or which is coming around the time of Thanksgiving. And a lot of people around the world in celebrating Thanksgiving. And I thought gratitude will be a very good topic that you will be it will be good to raise your awareness. The fact that we bring a thought to this, it makes us do it. So sometimes we know what is gratitude about, but when we start thinking about the small things that we have in life, we start appreciating it more. Now, if I ask you in the box to write down 3 things that you are grateful that you have, you think that other people don't have. Just will take a minute, and I would like to, family, yes? You can write one answer or 2 answers as you want, but patient, a lot of people don't have it. Food, my God, we take it for granted. We have 3 meals a day, and there are people around the world got hit, especially with this coronavirus pandemic. They lost their jobs. They can't even afford food. For being empathetic with people around me. Health, parents, food. I love that answer. Loving parents, education, and food. Education is so important. We take it for granted. Other people are really struggling to get education, opportunities for education, job, health, love, family, friends. See, very simple things around us in our life. We never think about them. We take a moment and we need to think about them. Now, if I ask you a question, and I would like you, parents who are very open about their problems, good health, love from family and friends. Yes, thank you for the thoughts. And thank you for sharing it. So I would like to leave you with this question. If I am grateful today, if there is one person around me, I want to say that person, I'm grateful to have you in my life. Who will be that person and why? If you would like to share, well and good. We have few minutes, and I would love to see your answer. If not, you don't want to share it with us, think about it. Mom and dad, my parents, yes. So these are the people who are around us, and sometimes we take it for granted. They are around us, and this is the way they are. They are supposed to do this, but we are never in a position, or sometimes we overlook the fact that we are not showing them how grateful we are. Our siblings, yes, sometimes you just lose sight of saying thank you to your brother and sister. I'm grateful for having you in my life. So there are people around us, but we never even practice the attitude of gratitude with them. We take it for granted. But the circumstances we went through, it was a very big lesson for all of us not to take things for granted. You never know what you have today, you might not have it tomorrow. So think of what you have rather than focusing on what you don't have, and then putting it on your wish list that I don't have this, but somebody else want it, somebody else have it, so I want it. Rather than that, think of how much you are blessed with a lot of blessings around you, and how grateful you are with that thought. That positive thoughts will make a lot of impact, and it really works miracle of what acts you do. In fact, I was going through a book of very powerful leaders around the world, and those very powerful influencers. And then one of the acts that it's common between them, they are always grateful. They always practice grateful, the attitude of gratitude with everything around them, because that shapes their appreciation for small, small facts around them. So think of that person who is around you, and maybe a person around you immediately in the house, or a person you interact with, can be a teacher, can be a parent, can be a friend, can be somebody in the society whom you want to say thank you and I appreciate having you in my life. Showing the attitude of gratitude is very important, and I will leave you with that thought. And I'll open the forum for question and answer. I'm cautious of the time. There is only 15 minutes remaining of our session, and I would love to interact with you through question and answer. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope I left you with little bit thoughts.
Thank you, ma'am, for your motivating words. A flow of remarkable questions have come in from the mesmerized audience. May I request our esteemed guests to answer the questions that have risen to the occasion. The first question is, what are some everyday challenges you face in your profession and how do you deal with them?
Everyday challenges. Yeah. I think one of the things working in a lot with a large team is sometimes one of my challenge will be is having the right attitude at times and right competency of the people who are around us. We always look for people who have the best quality, the best attitude, who are working with you as a team. And it becomes a challenge because there are times we have to remind ourselves we are not copy and paste from each other, and all your fingers, the five fingers, are not the same. So compromising sometimes and accommodating other people faults is one of the challenges and hassle that we go on daily basis, especially with the kind of work that I am doing, and especially it's a national project. So one of the challenges is maybe the expectations we all face all the time, with very high expectation. Though being a very hardworking and a very a person who loves challenge, I always put the bar one level higher. And maybe sometimes people who are with you might struggle to push that bar to that level of the expectations. And maybe the expectations set from the community on us, like one of maybe being a female leader, one of always, it will be always a challenge to balance between the work, life, children, community, social life. I mean, I spent these 4 days, the last 2 days, and today and tomorrow, I have some of the meetings. It's all about friends and family. So how I'm doing the balance and how I'm utilizing my time wisely. Time management is always a hustle in the type of career we are doing. So maybe in short, that is more or less the challenges that we face on daily basis. Time management is a very big issue. Maybe some of you as students are thinking about it, but believe me, even a lot of adults, they face the problem of time management. So these are some of the challenges that I can think of at the moment, Joshua. Yeah, I can't hear you. I think you're mute. Yes.
Sorry, thank you, ma'am. The next question is, what is the general advice that you would give women to become a great leader like you?
Of a great leader of.
A great leader just like you.
Just like me, I would definitely want them to be better than me. Maybe I give the same advice that I always give my children. Hard work. Nothing comes easy. Yes, we put our wish list. We all do. that I would like to become this, but what I am doing to get there, and not taking things for granted. Circumstances change, context change, and you need to put a lot of hard work and dedication to reach where you want to reach. You need to have a very high level of empathy as a leader. Thinking about others always come before self. So those people who are really in a good leadership positions, they are people who always put others first. However, having said that, they don't neglect self. Sometimes we come and tell them, love yourself. And there are times we encourage people to take care of themselves as well as they are taking care of others. But it's more about thinking of other than self, because they are more of giving people rather than taking. Uh, Good leaders, I believe, and I have seen the shift in myself as a leader during this year. I become, I was more task-oriented person. I become more with experience, with age. I felt that the best formula when you become people-centered person, a person who works always with the team, a person who always look after your the people who are in your team, a person who always delegate to others, a person who always trust others as well and empower them. It's all about empowering other people who are around you, so they become also the second layer and the people who are taking the things for future in the same path. So these are a few things maybe I can think of them the back of my head at the moment. I wasn't expecting something on the leadership, but I think these are the main issues that I can share with you, that a leader should be a person who will be always empowering others.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, a lot of students face stress due to academic as well as personal pressures. What is your opinion on this, and where do you see an institution's role in alleviating this?
This is a very important question, and we all go through the pressure, especially the students, and especially students who are at your age and in the level that you are in, and you are really competing. The level of competition, the level of expectation always keep people under stress. Stress is healthy as much as it is driving your action and making you give your best. But when you are um, when it is bigger than your capacity, then people might collapse. So we always say that do as much as you can handle. Do not overstress yourself, because when you are overstressing yourself, unfortunately, what happens is it might have the back effect on you. Some people, for example, when they are overstressed, they might just get they might just get blank when they are in the exam, for example, or they just forget what they have studied. They cannot perform in the way they perform. They might also can get physical. I can share a very interesting story very quickly. I have a daughter. 4 years back, she was in the 12th grade, and now she's a graduate and she's working in one of the medical institutions here in Oman. But at that time, she was in 12th grade. There's a lot of expectation. There was a lot of pressure on her from herself more than us, because we usually used to tell her, do as much as you can. Do not stress yourself. And we are here always to support and help you. And we will understand that you are giving it your best, but do not cross that limit. Despite that, she got very stressed, because I think she also kept a parent like myself as a role model, and she wanted really to prove that she can even be as good as the mother, you know. And sometimes that is a hidden pressure, the role models that we are following, and it got physical. She got actually a panic attack. So, you know, it affected her, all her spine here. She couldn't move her head, to the extent she had to take the test at that point of time. through a very special board arranged for her from the ministry, because she had to leave. She had to keep the paper up and answer it. And we realized that it is very important that we have to tell children at your age that please try your level best, but do not overstress yourself because you don't want it to be against you. And always remind yourself, this is the best I can give. And always keep in your mind, what is the worst that can happen? Am I ready for this scenario? What can support me when I am in that scenario? And when you train your brain in that way, you will give it your level best, but you are also ready for certain scenarios, so that stress level at least is at rest, because then you are not pushing yourself to that to those dead ends. I will call them dead ends because they are really very bad ends when some people cannot manage them properly. And stress is one of the topics that we can go on talking about it, but of course there are so many techniques around it, and maybe as students I can share that you have to have time management where you are doing your studies, but you are also having a balanced diet. At the same time, you are having some of your me time where you are diffusing that stress and energy into something that you really enjoy, whether it's a sport, whether it is a game, whether it is something that you enjoy doing, or a hobby, or a talent, or a singing. Just diffuse it in the thing that you like, and go back to your study. It cannot be 100% study time. Of course, in certain scenarios, especially when you are preparing yourself for board exam and things, you have to give your level best. And at those times, maybe the percentage change from time to time. But don't overstress yourself. Diet, water are very important factors in keeping you healthy. At the same time, it pumps oxygen to your brain, and your brain can absorb better understanding, and and balancing the whole thing between where you are stressed and where you can little bit reduce the effort, not to overstress yourself. Changing position, fresh air. There are so many mechanisms we use techniques for the stress level.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering all the questions so patiently. Dear participants, kindly note, you are requested to fill the feedback form that will appear in the chat box. It is a necessary requirement for the participation certificate. That brings us to the close of the program, and I deem it my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. All good things come to an end, but this is truly a new beginning for us. It is a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. We express our wholehearted gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq for his able leadership and benevolence. We take this moment to thank our esteemed guest and motivational speaker, Dr. Yasmin Al-Balushi, who spared her valuable time to be here with us today to guide us to be future ready. Thank you, ma'am. We express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman, Mr. Ajay Kumar Pillai, President and members of the Indian School Muscat Management Committee, our respected Principal, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chauhan, Principal, Indian School Muscat, President and members of the Indian School Managing Committees for their support. I would like to extend my thanks to all the principals, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, heads of departments, and teachers of all Indian schools of Oman for their constant encouragement and guidance. The end of a story is the new beginning for many others. Great endings become great beginnings. Wish you all the very best. This is Joshua Armstrong signing off from Indian School Muscat. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.